Welcome to Could It Exist in Real Life, where the one-eyed man isn't exactly king, but could be head of his own agency. After watching Ultron was straight up,
I'm still mad about the Whedon thing.
Get over it. No one listens to Warriors anymore, after what Alucard did to Rip Van Winkle. Anywho, I decided to take a look at a spin-off series I was hesitant to watch even though many people told me it was great. This is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Not long after the success of the first Avengers, Whedon decided to go back to his TV roots by creating a show about one of the most renowned organizations in comic history. However, it wasn't the first time someone tried to do so, since the late 90s had a TV movie with fresh off Baywatch's David Hasselhoff.
This was before the Ultimate Universe, so the idea of Samuel L. Jackson playing Nick wasn't conceived yet, though from what I've heard, the people who saw that movie wished it was.
The story goes like so. After the events of the Battle of New York, Phil Coulson came back after being stabbed to death by Loki Odinson.
Gotta love S.H.I.E.L.D. Their tech is on par with GTA, both the city and the game.
After his recovery, he decides, under orders from Fury, to form a team of his own.
This is where I got hesitant in watching this. From what I gathered, up until the events of Winter Soldier, all of Coulson's agents do is either pursue follow-ups for the Avengers mission, or clean up their messes. And although being able to confiscate weapons and tech from races such like the Chitauri and enemies like Hydra is awesome as a whole, the show is really about the janitors of S.H.I.E.L.D. rather than the actual agent stuff. Now, I got nothing against janitors. They look through your letters, they look through your lockers, they listen to your conversations. You don't know that, but they do. And the fact that these specific janitors have access to both top-of-the-line spy equipment and technology used by aliens, gods, and other superheroes makes them 11 times more scarier than the mundane ones in real life. But could something like S.H.I.E.L.D. exist in real life?
First, let's start off with the basics, such as their tech. Much of the tech is no different than any tech related to real-life agencies, from firearms to surveillance equipment. Even the alien tech they confiscate falls on the same rules, if not exaggerated. But then there's the more weird things, even by Marvel standards, specifically Lola and the helicarrier.
I made the mistake of touching Lola. Even with the tech I had now, it's still taking me days to regrow my arm. I should have learned from Loki and Tony not to piss off Phil.
Lola is actually rather plausible, as it wasn't hard to find the real-life equivalent to her. Peter Muller created what was known as the Sky Car, one of the few flying cars in the world, and is still being in development as of now.
It's no Corvette, but it does have the same color scheme.
Next is the helicarrier. Now at first I thought the idea would be impossible, until I stumbled upon a picture provided by DeAndre Duggart. It was a picture taken by Japan Today's Facebook of a concept of a flying cruise ship.
Whether or not this was a real idea, or a picture they posted for laughs, all it takes is a little weaponization, and you got yourself a helicarrier.
Lastly, there's S.H.I.E.L.D. itself. It can exist, and there have been agencies it was based off, in both the better or the worse. Many people nowadays consider the NSA as a real-world version of S.H.I.E.L.D. due to both their top-level secrecy as well as the recent scandals that are often compared to Hydra's sleeper takeover in the Marvel Universe.
If this were the case, then all we need is all the Nick Furies and Phil Coulsons we can get. As usual, debate, argue, and let me know what I miss. Stay tuned for more.